This presentation will be on using Bash to navigate a file system. This is an example of a Blake Bash terminal, also known as a shell. Prior to the development of graphical user interfaces, Bash terminals were the primary means of communication for Unix computers, DOS lines for what later became Windows computers. This is a presentation on how to use Bash to navigate a file system. I was inspired to do this video when a friend of mine told me how he had researched how to deal with an issue on one of his computers, and then he ended up having to solve it manually in a command line. He didn't have any idea what he was doing, and for all he knew, he was breaking his computer by randomly trusting some source on the internet. So to begin, the command line interface is a one-stop shop for interfacing with your computer. So from it, you can install files, you can install programs, you can uninstall programs, you can make changes to your computer, you can turn it on, you can reboot it. But additionally, in addition to this, it is also acting as your file explorer. So we see here, we have File Explorer. So we're here and we're in a spot in your directory. So right now we're in home and it sees all these different things. So then if you click on pictures, it'll take you over here. So in addition to everything else, your command line interface is also being a place for the directory. Now, of course, that's the important feature here because we're talking about how to navigate a file system. Here are our basic commands. So print working directory, shortened to PWD. We are in home/Bradley. Bradley is the user and Scorpius is the computer, so we are Bradley at Scorpius. The next command is ls for list structures. This tells you everything in this directory. Now, if we're here in home, so we go back here, these are the same items here as you see here. Blue shows that this is another directory. So this is the downloads folder here. So the next command is cd, or change directory. And so we're going to cd into pictures here. So you know here that we have pictures here showing where we are in here. Once you get deeper than in your basic folder, it will start displaying things here. Now if we print working directory again, we're in home Bradley pictures. So next we can go ls for list structures. So now that we're in here, we have this pink screenshot. Pink is for images. White is for most other files. Next, we'll go cd ... This takes us back up to the home area. So here we were in home Bradley pictures. Now we are in home Bradley. We have the structures, and it's the same things as it was before. Now, let's do a little more file work. So here's the command touch. If you use the command touch, and then you give a name, it will create a file with that name. If we list structures, there it is. Now let's say I don't like the name sample, so we want to change it. So then you would go mv, which is move, which we'll also see for moving. So then you give the name of the file, then the new name. And if we list structures again, here's the new name. Now I've decided I don't like where it is. So now we're going to move it. So you start again, same as last time with mv, with test.tat, which is the name, then you give the destination. If you list structures, it's not here. So let's go to public, let's list structures, and there it is. Also note here, I did the double ampersand, and this chains two commands together. It does change directory to public, then list structures. Now let's delete the file. rm deletes things. So we remove it, and then we do ls again, and we don't say anything. The directory is now again empty. This is a screenshot of Nano, which is a common text editor. You can use Nano to edit text for a number of ways and a number of fashions. Nano is good, so here I created sample.txt, and the text I input was sample. And then I took the screenshot. Then I exited out of it. Now we go to here, and this is where I used it. So nanosample.txt. And again, we're still in the public directory. So when you nano for a file that exists, you begin to edit it. If you nano for a file that does not exist, it creates it, then edits it. So I nanoed, then I went to this screen, and then when I finished, I went to here, and then I did cat. What cat does is it displays the contents of a file. So I do cat sample.txt, and then it displays a sample which I wrote inside. Next, I've decided I want to add a new directory. So I do mkdir for make directory, and then I give the name, which is sample. Now if I do ls, I see sample, the directory, and sample, the text file. Now let's say I want to copy a text file. You'll know that this is the same syntax here for move with the name of the file and then its destination. However, it's CP instead of MV, and the only difference is that you have one here and you also put one there. The one here doesn't go away. I mean, obviously, it's a copy instead of a move. Now let's go into sample. Let's take a look what's inside, and then let's display the contents, and it's exactly as we wanted. Now let's move back up an area. So now we're back in public instead of public sample. So if we list structures, we see sample, the directory we just made, and then sample.txt. Now let's get rid of the directory. The one for this is rm-tacfr. Now you may remember rm back here got rid of a file. However, if you want to get rid of a directory with a file in it, you do tacfr and then sample for the name. Now if we list structures again, it's gone. Now if you want to do things more so, you can start chaining things together. So for instance, you see how this is. If we were back in the home directory, you could say move the file to public sample and it would take it here. Or if we're here in public, we could use /downloads to move something into downloads. So hopefully this is a good brief overview of how to use Bash to navigate and handle a file system.